Welcome to episode 3 of Tales with Tang. Yeah, today I have joining me, Dan Willentz, a very funny comedian. He's half Jewish and half Asian. And then we have Charlie Norton.
I'm also half Jewish and half Asian.
He's,
Western Asian.
He has a huge flashlight collection, and he's a marine biologist. So these guys, some of the funniest guys in the Bay Area. Let's get started. So this is, if you guys haven't seen the podcast before, it's a storytelling format, right? So everyone goes around telling the story, and then we try to find some insight in that story. We try to make the story funny. It doesn't have to be funny right now, but it's got to be kind of interesting, and then maybe we eventually turn that into a joke. Or, we process our trauma from that story, and that will be a win as well. All right, so let's get started. Yeah, so Dan, you got a story for us.
Yes, do you have a story?
We'll both lean in.
You guys can both lean in.
So
yes.
Dan, tell us.
Yeah. I want to tell a story about breaking my leg snowboarding at the beginning of 2022. I like to snowboard, big snowboarder, and I was up in Palisades, Tahoe. Snowboarding with two friends, and this was like my 25th day snowboarding that season.
I have no idea. I'm not a snow sports man myself. Is that a lot of days?
That is a lot of days.
It's a lot.
Okay.
It's not like a ridiculous amount, but it's a lot.
That seems like a lot.
I was able to get
consecutively, like you're doing multiple days in a row, or
I was able to get that many days because I was in between jobs. So I was just living up there for like 2 months.
That is
snowboarding
a way to do a lot of things.
Yeah. So it was nice. It hadn't snowed very much that season.
Yeah.
So this was
living in Tahoe.
I was living in Truckee.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah. So this was the first day it had snowed in like 3 weeks, and we were really excited.
Oh, people are fighting each other in the streets.
Exactly. So we got there early so we could get on the first lift.
Turn the curtains a little bit more.
Open them more?
Open them. Yeah.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Too much?
I can't. I want to look whiter if possible.
Charlie's gonna be blinding.
I think that's
translucent.
The albedo off Charlie's skin is very high.
You're a snowboarder. You're aware you can get burned off of the secondary.
Exactly. Yeah, you're worse than snow. I need sunscreen just for Charlie's face. Anyways, so we're like basically first in line to go up the mountain.
Yeah.
I'm with my friend, and I'm with two friends, a guy and a girl. And guy's name is Owen, girl's name is Danielle. I don't know, should I not say their names? Whatever.
You can if you want. Yeah.
What are the last names?
Yeah, all right. Well, we're not going to do that.
Let's talk addresses.
Social security numbers.
What street did they grow up on?
Then I changed the names.
Well, the names are very important, because they are key characters in the story. Okay. So I want to say their names.
All right, yeah, just say their names.
Anyways, so it's us three. We get on first chair, go up the mountain, and then we're trying to get to like a remote part of the mountain as fast as possible to beat the crowds and get like the fresh snow. So me and my buddy Owen are in front, going like pretty fast, just trying to get to this more remote part of the mountain.
What difficulty of there's all the ratings,
We're on the blue square.
Okay. Is that,
so it's it's medium.
Medium, okay.
So it's not a super challenging trail. It's wide open and there's no one there yet because we're like the first people.
Okay.
So Owen and I are both kind of taking up a lot of space, doing like big sweeping turns.
Trying to take as much of the snow as possible.
Yeah, and just
statistically, most ski deaths happen on blue runs.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Is that just because more people are on those?
More people, and also you can go really fast because there's usually like no obstacles. It's just like wide and kind of steep. Yeah. So we were going pretty fast, and I didn't even see him, but like I was doing a deep left turn, which for most snowboarders is your blind side, because snowboarders stand typically facing to the right.
Okay.
Okay.
So I was doing a deep left turn.
So you're facing the right, and then you're kind of doing that.
Yeah. And then out of nowhere, I see him maybe like a quarter of a second before I collide with him. And he's doing a deep right turn coming from my left.
So you were intersecting.
Kind of like an hourglass.
Yeah.
And then I just slammed into him.
Ooh.
And
So this was a person-to-person snowboard
person
collision.
to person. And this guy is built like a boulder. So like my leg.
So you broke your bones on a guy.
I broke my bones on a guy. Yeah.
Like a friend of yours.
On one of my best
What was his
friends.
name again?
Owen. Yeah.
Shouts out Owen for breaking Dan's
Owen,
leg. Owen,
Dude.
that's some credentials. Yeah, a man broke his leg on me one time.
Yeah, that's true. That's a pretty
fucking
badass thing that
yoked I am,
he
yeah.
can say.
Yeah.
I can't. It's not badass for me, no. Yeah, I collided with him and then fell down. I didn't know immediately that something was wrong.
I've heard that a lot with serious injuries.
Yeah,
Going
so
to shock or whatever.
exactly. So like fell down and then skidded super far. And normally I'd be able to like stop myself,
Yeah.
but I wasn't able to, and that's when I knew something was wrong. Like I was just like, the strength in my legs isn't there to like stop myself.
What was that?
You got a ghost in here.
You phased.
I think it's the laundry machine. Yeah, washing machine.
That's what everyone says when
The
they
ghost
first.
of your knee.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then finally like skidded to a stop and then unbuckled my boots from my snowboard, and I lifted up my leg, and from like here down it was dangling.
Oh, so it was like completely broke.
Completely broken, dangling.
Fuck,
But the bone didn't break through the skin, so it wasn't
That's
bleeding.
good, at least.
It wasn't bleeding, but like legitimately the scariest thing I've ever seen with my own eyes in my life.
That would freak.
Yeah.
That
So
would-
what did you break your leg on? Like
on his leg.
On his leg. And
Damn.
his leg was fine.
His leg was fine.
leg v leg.
Leg v leg, his leg won.
Yeah,
Like we're like Beyblades, and I just got like knocked off the table.
Completely wrecked. Yeah.
Yeah, got wrecked.
Damn.
Yeah, so I
When
didn't.
did it start to hurt?
It took a while.
Okay.
So ski patrol got down to us basically immediately.
Oh, that's
like,
good.
Within like a minute and a half, they got down to us.
Like we heard the sound of two legs hitting each other,
Yeah.
echoing down the mountain. It's a distinctive noise.
My buddy Owen and Danielle, other friend there, she saw it from the back. They both instantly started yelling for help. So ski patrol got down to us really fast. And then they came up to me and they started doing like concussion tests. They wanted to see if I was concussed.
Yeah.
So they were like holding up fingers. They were like, how many fingers am I holding up?
Yeah.
Who's the president? What year is it? And I wasn't concussed, which was good.
Right.
And then they put me in a toboggan and like had like an inflatable, like they put me in an inflatable balloon thing.
Yeah.
And then put that in a toboggan
To like cushion you.
to cushion me.
Oh, okay.
And then they got me down to the bottom of the mountain.
Did they ski really fast? Or?
Yeah, they like pull the thing, or they got like
Honestly,
a snowmobile, or what?
they pulled the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Because
Yeah.
I've seen them like go before and they just go, right? Isn't it kind of scary being in the toboggan?
It wasn't that scary. I was also like completely dissociating at this point.
So
So like
they hit you with any drugs right away?
not right there.
Okay.
I had to wait until I got down to the bottom of the mountain before
Yeah.
they gave me drugs. But then once I got there, they gave me
Morphine?
morphine and ketamine.
Nice.
And as this guy was giving me ketamine, he said to me, he like looked me in the eye and he was like, yeah, this is ketamine for medical use only, not to be used at raves. And I was
he looked
like,
at you and he was like, he said party time. That'd be very professional if you did.
Imagine if he was trying to sell some ketamine after the cake, but
Good, let me know how this feels.
yeah.
That'd be good.
But I thought it was very funny that he said that to me in that moment. Yeah.
I don't understand how people do ketamine recreationally. I've done
It's
it.
not that fun.
It's not fun. I feel like I can't, like, and people do it socially, which is insane, because I'm like, I can't talk.
Yeah, I can't talk.
I can't talk. I don't
get
know what's going
nauseous.
on.
I'm kind of panicking. I feel like I'm in like the sunken place from Get Out.
Yeah,
you
I'm
know?
like, oh, I'm just like, I've like just, nerfed my whole body. It's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm like, I get how, like, because you can do it therapeutically.
Yeah.
And I get how, like, you drop into, like, the weird, you like, fight your own ego off or whatever. But I'm like, I just did it, like, while watching a movie with my friends. And I was like, I want this to end.
Yeah, this is a bad vibe.
You watched, like, this Mads Mikkelsen movie called Dust Bunny?
Oh.
No, that's a good movie, too, though. It was like, and it's very, it didn't help, it's already a weird fucking movie about,
Is
like,
Mads Mikkelsen an actor or director?
actor. Yeah, you'd recognize. He's like the bad guy in Casino Royale.
Okay, yeah.
The
Got it.
Danish guy.
Got it. Yeah.
He's
That's
great.
right.
But it's like a weird movie where he like fights. He's like a hitman that like this like child hires because her parents are eaten by like a monster dust bunny. in her apartment.
Damn.
And it's like this weird. It's already kind of a weird, like heightened, fantastical movie, and it gets weirder and more complex, like complicated as it goes.
Yeah.
And then we were like, my friends were like, "Do you want to do ketamine?" And I was like, "Sure." And then I was scared. I was like, I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
I can't parse like who these characters are. I can't talk very well.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, not good. Anyway, sidebar, but ketamine, I don't know.
I feel like generally drugs don't enhance any movie experience.
Yeah,
I want to be sober for a movie. I don't want to be drunk for a movie.
Weed. I used to smoke weed and watch movies.
Certain genres weed can be okay for. Like if it's a dumb movie, some weed is all right.
I watched Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind after
High?
That seems like a bummer though.
Yeah, I feel like I wouldn't want to watch
I couldn't
it
do
sad.
sad on like when I'm high.
Yeah, it was also like 90 milligrams. Like my friend put too much.
Dude, that's an insane amount.
I think I took half of it, but that's still 45.
That's a lot.
Anyway,
that's so much.
I'm like a 2.5 milligram kind of guy.
Yeah.
Like I'm
And
taking
edibles
the
is
weakest weed
worse.
possible.
Right. I turned into a planet orbiting around the solar system during the movie. I remember.
Okay, so it was that was the right.
You're
Grew
like
up.
full on psychedelic.
Yeah, no, and then like I woke up like 24 hours later. I'm like,
Oh my god,
I just see vomit in my trash.
Ooh, so you really
times.
did that.
brother.
Yeah, the movie choice is important.
Yeah. So make sure you watch the right movie.
My roommate and I, when we were in college, we used to like smoke weed and we'd just sit in sleeping bags on the couch to watch movies. It was great. Like we always picked like
cute.
a good movie.
That's
It was fun.
wholesome.
And you get like super high. But then one time we made a bet. We decided to watch the Liam Neeson movie The Gray.
Right.
Is that like he's fighting wolves?
Yeah, which sounds cool, right? We're like, this would be sick. But it's like the opening shot of the movie is literally like such and such presents The Gray. Cut to Liam Neeson on a frozen lake bed putting a gun in his mouth.
Oh my god.
Only the vibes only get worse from there because then it cuts to like
unnecessarily intense.
oh yeah, and it's like the most realistic plane crash I've ever seen in the movie. And we're both like 10 minutes and we're like, we have to watch something else.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
such a
Throw on some
bad
SpongeBob, please.
vibe.
Yeah, maybe the right movie to watch is SpongeBob. Like
SpongeBob high hits.
Certain like serious or action-y movies are good. It's
Yeah,
just,
like
if
Mad
they're
Max
too
would be cool.
Disturbing is not good though.
Right.
You want
Yeah.
like thrilling.
You don't want it to be that realistic.
Yeah, you want like
thrilling.
Yeah.
Yeah, iRobot. That's a good high movie.
iRobot is just not a good movie though.
I watched iRobot High in high school, and it was amazing.
But your movie taste was a high school.
Exactly.
movie
Yeah, it's
taste.
probably
Sure.
not that good anymore.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I guess we can get back to the story.
so,
This has
okay,
been a good
you got-
segue.
So there you were. You're watching iRobot. Your leg is broke. I'm like mixing all the timelines
You're
up.
on drugs.
I'm on drugs, ketamine and
Does it hurt
morphine.
before the drugs? Like,
It was starting to hurt, but
maybe the
I-
shock at first.
at no point did it hurt as much as I expected it to based on how it looked.
Yeah.
Like I was not in that much pain, but I like was very scared given what it looked like.
Yeah.
But like the shock was affecting me in weird ways. Like I was laughing a lot.
Oh yeah.
Like when the guy said the ketamine thing to me, I was probably laughing for like 2 minutes just at that.
Yeah.
Just because I was in like a crazy state of shock.
Right. Yeah.
Like I was like looking for like some release. This guy probably like was like thinking he was crushing.
A joke. Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, damn, I need to be a comedian.
I'm so funny.
Yeah.
Everyone that gets into my ambulance in mortal pain.
Yeah, I think I'm
loves-
hilarious.
loves my
yeah,
shit.
Yeah, kill with a Fent crowd. But yeah, then they put me in an ambulance. And of course, like before I got in the ambulance, like the whole thing ran through my mind of like, oh, an ambulance is gonna cost like $4,000. Should I like call an Uber to go to the hospital?
Yeah.
And like my friends were like, no, you're being an idiot. Like take an ambulance. Your
In
legs,
that
your legs
case,
broken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I took an Uber to the ER one time for
Yeah.
that reason. Yeah. My friend, I was
Just
at
to
my,
save money.
I was at my friend's place. I was high. Or no, we were drunk. It was like I was intoxicated, and he had a dog. His dog was on the couch, a very sweet dog. But I did the thing.
Dog
where
bit you?
Dog was asleep, and I like went up to it and like a little too like exuberantly was like, "Oh, who's so cute?" You know, I got up in the dog's face, which was not cool.
And the
like,
dog's like, "Fuck
and the
you."
Dog, well, the dog woke up and was scared and like nipped at, but
Yeah.
my face is right here, so it took my whole nose.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and I was like, and then like again, not an aggressive dog. And then I like,
But you
I immediately stood up and like looked at my friend. and was like, you have to tell me like how bad. I'm like, I don't know if my nose is like hanging off or like. And then he was like,
hanging off?
he was like, it's bad, but it's not that bad. I'm like, okay. So I went in the bathroom. There's like a hole here, like not all the way through, but like punched in in a couple places, and then just like some scratching and stuff. So I was like, okay, I need to go to the hospital. Clearly, like this is like a stitches situation.
Yeah.
But I was like, but I did have the foresight to be like,
I'm gonna take an Uber.
Can't afford an ambulance. So I'd like call it, but I had like blood running out of it, so I had like a towel on my face. I had to walk out and like open the Uber door and be like, don't leave. Yeah, I'm like, listen,
You're my ambulance.
listen.
Please
you
don't
gotta
fuck up.
take me- Yeah. I'm not gonna hold you responsible for anything, but like you gotta get me to the hospital.
Yeah.
They glued it shut. They didn't stitch it. They like
You got glue in your nose?
They put glue on it. Yeah.
I didn't even know that's a
Because
thing.
an Uber is like $30, right? But an ambulance is like $1,500. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was close. It was like this was in the college town that I lived, so it was like close. It was like, and Ubers were cheaper back in my day. So it was.
I'm sure
reasonable.
like the Uber driver, like, okay, destination hospital, what are we gonna get? You know?
Yeah, like, oh, this is gonna be good. Yeah. So
The ambulance bill when I got it eventually was $3,000.
No.
But I had insurance at the time, so I only had to pay $150.
Oh.
So I was like, that was worth it.
It's not bad. Yeah.
that's not that bad.
Also, in the ambulance, they gave me more drugs,
Okay.
which was a good time. I got fentanyl in
Nice,
the ambulance.
nice.
No way.
I got fentanyl.
Good
Yeah.
shit.
You were so high.
I was extremely high.
Morphine
And they told me before they were giving it to me, they were like, we're going to give you fentanyl now. They asked me how my pain level was first, and like the pain was starting to creep back up.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, we're going to give you fentanyl. And then like, as they were giving it to me, like I felt it like immediately. And it honestly felt like a warm blanket of pleasure
Yeah.
across my entire body.
I gotta try that sometime.
I was just like, I get it. Like, I understand the
so
people of San
scary.
Francisco on
Yeah.
the streets now.
Yeah.
It felt amazing. Like, it was kind of scary how good it
It is
felt.
so scary, like because you're like, oh, it must be like people ruin their lives, like it must be
is, yeah.
the best shit in the world. Yeah, it's like, man, I could never do it. It'd be over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, did they ask you, like, do you want the fentanyl? Like you,
I don't think they even asked me.
They
I think
just
they were
make the
like,
call,
I think
right?
they were like, we're giving this to you.
Like time for fentanyl now.
Yeah. Maybe it was even like, maybe they didn't even need to tell me they were giving it to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that was a courtesy.
They were just like, just so you know,
Yeah.
you about to get hit with the good shit right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're about to get the highest you're ever going to get. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
yeah.
Yeah, but they got me to the hospital, and then I was like sitting in a like kind of cot in the waiting room for a while to
Yeah.
get emergency surgery. And my friend Danielle was like with me the whole time while I was just like hanging out waiting for the emergency surgery.
Yeah.
And before the emergency surgery, and they had like helped me get out of all my snowboarding clothes, so like I was in like one of those gowns.
Yeah.
At this point, feeling like real low at this point, you know.
You feel like the gown always makes you feel you're like, oh, I'm like, I don't know, I hate the gown.
I hate the
Yeah,
gown.
you're like, you feel
Yeah.
embarrassed.
Yeah.
'Cause that-
Like I feel like I'm like in like a
Ass
psych.
is out.
I feel like I'm in a psych ward. Like I'm
Yeah.
like on drugs. Like
They give you the grippy socks.
I think they did. Yeah. But yeah, before I went in to actually get the emergency surgery, they were like, have you peed since the accident? And I was like, no, I haven't peed.
It'd be funny if the ambulance guy was like, oh, he's been pissing constantly. He's been actually pissed everywhere.
Yeah, so they were like, okay, you gotta pee before you go in. Otherwise,
Wow.
you know, you're gonna like pee during the surgery while
gonna
you're
make a fucking
unconscious.
mess in there.
Exactly.
Wow. I didn't know that about surgeries. It's like people just pee in surgery.
Yeah, or shitting.
You'd think they would put like a little, you know, like a condom, like a catheter, and just be like, all right, he's peeing, you know.
Well, so how did you pee though?
Yeah, so like they gave me, so like I couldn't walk at this point,
Yeah.
of course. They gave me a plastic jug, a big plastic jug.
Yeah.
And they told me like, hey, just like lean over in the cot and just like
Oh.
And just piss off the side?
Piss off the side of the cot into the jug.
Huh.
And the jug was probably like, I don't know, like 1.5 liters, like something that was like the approximate capacity would be my guess. And I filled that fucker
Oh, so you really
up.
had to piss.
It was like the longest piss I had taken in my life.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you didn't even know that you needed to pee.
I didn't even know.
That's crazy.
Body is
And
works miracles.
And then like
Did
the
you shit too, or like?
I didn't shit.
We're all getting like,
Yeah.
Did you piss?
We
Did you
can,
shit?
yes, we
What
can
else happened?
talk
Yeah.
about all my bodily functions before I went to the
Coming,
emergency. I
Did you have your
ejaculated.
period?
Yeah. Did have my period. Gave birth.
up.
Yeah.
And then
But,
aborted a fetus.
It was kind of funny because so the girl with me, like, we're not like romantically engaged at all, but they
But when she
thought
saw you piss that much, she's like, maybe.
It's like, oh my
Well,
god.
She's like, a man
well,
that can hold that much piss stoically.
the doctors and the nurses thought that she was my girlfriend. I think she like had told them that in order to be able to like sit with me in the hospital.
okay.
So they thought that we were a thing.
Right.
And then like after I peed in the jug and like filled it all the way up, the doctor was like, wow, this guy got some big bladder capacity. And then he like raised his eyebrows at Danielle.
A prized quality of a man. Yeah.
Like, this guy got a huge bladder.
That guy can hold his piss.
Yeah,
Lucky
yeah.
woman. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what's the implication? It's like
I don't know. It's like, he got a tiny dick, but he can pee for a long time.
It all went to the bladder.
Yeah, strong stream.
Nudge, nudge.
Micro penis, but strong stream on this one.
I love to impress a woman and be like, I haven't pissed in 2 days.
Yeah, I
She's
can
like,
hold
really?
it.
Yeah, this is crazy. But I can hold it. I don't.
You're like writhing in your seat.
I smell like this.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice, honestly.
Even if she was your girlfriend, like, how would she know that, like, you pee that much? Like,
But anyways, I thought it was like, it was funny. Like the doctor was trying to like talk me up
yeah.
based on that. I'm like at like the lowest point of my life. I'm like, this is
Check out the
fine, I guess.
Check out how much he's pissing.
I did like actually feel kind of proud though, like because the doctor was like talking me up. I'm not gonna lie, I felt like a little
yellow, or was it?
I don't remember.
It was like a scary
I don't remember.
color.
I don't remember.
Yeah, it was a scary
I don't
color.
remember it being a scary color, so I think it was fine.
This is regular pee.
Yeah.
Because that would be worse if you like peed like a liter of like red piss. You're like, oh, I'm gonna die.
Yeah, or like, did I pee my,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or whatever.
But yeah, and then did the emergency surgery.
They let her keep the piss. They're like,
They let Danielle keep my
like
piss.
that's a little souvenir.
Yeah.
Work on your man.
Yeah.
Take it home.
Just a reminder.
Yeah.
Of what your guy can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, got the emergency surgery. They like inserted a 14-inch metal rod that will live in my leg forever.
It's still there.
It's still there.
You go through metal detectors now.
People always ask this, but it doesn't set off metal detectors. So I think like they have like metal that purposefully doesn't do that.
So you can
I'm
dig
pretty
it
sure
out.
it's titanium.
Okay.
And did the bone like heal? Like
The bone's fully healed, but it's like weirdly like healed around the rod.
Oh, okay.
okay.
Yeah.
So how long did that take? Like, so you had surgery, right? And
Yeah.
then how long you were just in the hospital immediately?
They discharged me from the hospital the next day.
Really?
Which
Okay.
was crazy.
Oh.
But then I was on crutches for like 3.5 months.
Honestly, that's shorter than I would expect
Yeah.
for that bad of a break. I don't have no idea how long these things sort of
It's a
take.
nasty break. Did
Well,
you,
once I-
do PT and all?
I
this
did a
stuff?
lot of PT. And then once I got off crutches, I was limping. I was like walking but limping for like 4 or 5 months.
That makes sense. Yeah.
I
You
couldn't-
weren't allowed to go back to sports for like.
I couldn't run until like 10 months after
Okay.
the injury. Yeah.
That's rough. That's
the limp phase was tough because like
yeah.
like I was just like walking around kind of slightly in pain all the time, kind of feeling like a pimp but being way too young to like be a pimp. Yeah.
Right, because like I guess it just consistently hurt like while you were on crutches and the limp phase, or just to put pressure on it.
Yeah, exactly. But like the pressure is good for it because it stimulates bone growth. So they were like, you got to try to walk on it. It's gonna hurt, but that's gonna help you heal
You have
faster.
to put weight on it and stuff.
Exactly.
Did they get you like a special like PT, or did you have to like?
I got a physical therapist through Kaiser Permanente. I know Charlie loves Kaiser Permanente.
They're good there sometimes. Yeah.
I actually did like my physical therapist through them.
I had PT through Kaiser once, and it was actually good. We'll say
Yeah.
same experience.
I could talk about like the whole recovery process forever, but that's gonna take a lot of time.
Yeah.
I mainly just want to talk about the bone break and like the
That's
ensuing
wild.
day.
Yeah.
I've tried to talk about it on stage before, but I haven't like really like turned it into any jokes
You
yet.
gotta talk
But
about
there-
the pissing.
You might.
there are some funny things that happen during it.
Right.
Yeah.
Could be
Like okay, I mean, like maybe like the funny part is like the guys like joke and how funny
About ketamine.
like, you found it. You know.
Yeah.
Because like if you say it, like it'll probably bomb, right? And it's like, all right, what?
Totally.
But then like you can go in at it at that like how
Yeah.
unfunny or how much you reacted to kind of an okay joke.
Yeah, exactly. Like a drugged up audience would be like very good, or like
Or
this guy's killing with all
You
his
just gotta
patients.
break everyone's bones in the room.
Yeah.
You just
That's
gotta
a good.
go around and just fucking.
That- That's a good angle.
Yeah, bring
and
a
then
bat.
give them all
Fuck
give them all
everyone up.
morphine.
Yeah.
and then tell a shitty joke.
Yeah,
and they'll
be
all
like,
laugh their asses off.
All right, I know we're having a bad night, everybody, because of the spree of violence that just occurred. But check this shit out, and then you get
that bad joke would be like the best part of their night. I think.
yeah. People be like if they could lift you up without all their broken bones, they'd be like,
I like go crowd surf on them.
damn. What a magical night.
Yeah. I also think like some stories you're not ready to tell on stage yet, and if you're still like,
Totally.
traumatized about it, you know.
I don't still feel traumatized about it, but like I don't know. I feel like stories that happened a while ago, I'm not even like thinking about that much. So I'm not necessarily like trying to massage them into jokes. I feel like it's more like mild inconveniences or recent stories that I'm trying to turn into jokes because they're just more top of mind.
Makes sense.
I guess like it's shorter, right? So it's like you don't have to set up all this context and then like
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I feel like setting up all the context, like, I have a hard time going more than 10 seconds without a laugh, you know?
Yeah, well, that's how it's supposed to be, yeah.
Yeah. Should we switch to someone else's story?
Pissing. Oh, I was going to go more on the pissing. No, that's
Oh,
fine.
do you want to? You got more?
Say, that's your angle there.
Yeah.
On stage, what you got to do, you bring the jug out.
Yeah.
Right.
Pete.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I filled this up 4 years ago.
People are like, they're screaming.
It's like an entire milk jug of
an entire
you have the
ecosystem
empty-
has formed in there. It's got its own like algae bloom.
Or you do like, you bring the empty jug up and you're like,
I'm gonna fill this up.
Don't
I
even
turn
say
around.
anything.
I turn around so I don't expose myself.
Right, you don't want to have your dick out. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be
bring
bad.
the jug up.
Like, let me demonstrate how big my
Dick
butt
out,
is,
facing away from the crowd.
In
Fine.
case there's any ladies out there who are
You take the microphone out of the stand, you put it by the jug so people can hear,
it.
the piss going into the
Yeah,
jug. And
exactly.
then you just 5 minutes. I mean, it takes 5. It's like Austin Powers, right? You just 5 minutes piss.
Yeah, this is gonna be my
No
set, you
words.
guys. Yep.
And people, you know,
My
they'll laugh.
tight five.
It'll taper off and then it'll build again.
You're right. It'll build back up.
People will be like,
It'll be one of those.
damn, yeah.
It'll get real awkward and then I'll resurge.
Do that. Yeah, I think that's.
I will
that's
do that.
your end. Yeah, like it's the piss guy. He's back.
Yeah, that'll be my whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I think that's the main takeaway. Really.
That's the
You
angle.
gotta-
That's the angle
Sorry,
for
it's very
sure.
funny.
You gotta piss. You gotta piss like that.
It's because like that's kind of unexpected, you know. It's like an unexpected angle.
That is a weird reaction of the human body. I wouldn't have expected that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can snowboard again now.
Yep.
Okay, so you're fully back.
Fully recovered.
Nice.
Yeah, took a while.
Yeah. So and also like your friend, I guess like you know the Beyblades between the legs. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Imagine if like Owen was just like this like 5'3" guy. And
He's
like a black box of a
He's
human.
short, but he is like fucking. He's a sturdy man. He's a sturdy guy. Yeah, I just
that guy
bounced off him.
It's crazy that he's completely fine because like that means like it was all you when it hit.
I
Like
feel like he's like a berserker from Gears of War.
The physics
Play
of
that?
it are impressive.
Yeah.
yeah.
Put that guy on it. So I wonder what happened to that guy in a plane crash. You know, It'd just be like the one guy that's just like in his seat with like his hair messed up.
Yeah.
Everyone else is
Just like stood on his face, but he's
vaporized,
fine.
yeah. Like action movie style, where he's just like one cut on his cheek, but it's like totally fine otherwise.
Oh, you've actually met him.
Really?
You're the guy. You said that he looked like
busted
Wolverine.
through that wall. Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah. He's the Kool-Aid man.
He did that Kool-Aid Man thing, and I was like, damn, that's really sick.
He came to support us at Legacy, just a random night, and you said he looked like Wolverine.
Yes, he does look like Wolverine.
He does look like
Okay, so that tracks.
Yeah, exactly.
That's because he has fucking, adamantium bones.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I fucking broke your leg.
I broke my leg on Hugh Jackman.
He's an experimental super soldier.
Yeah.
With claws.
Yeah.
That's actually how your ski pants got off. He was like, Dan, I'm gonna help
He just ripped them.
He just ripped your pants off with his
Sliced them.
big fucking sick claws. Yeah. That's what I'm gonna choose to believe happened up there.
We could write an entire series about your superhero friend Owen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super Owen.
All right, I feel like I got some ideas here. I feel like there's like ways I could
Cool.
try to tell it on stage.
All right. Do you guys want to switch spots?
Yeah,
for
let's
your story?
let's do a little swap.
the story
Eve,
spot.
are you gonna grace us with a story?
I'm not sure. Yeah. Maybe I'll do a quick one.
Did you tell stories for your first two?
I did. Yeah. So I'll kind of like. I don't want to take up the stage time the whole time. Maybe I'll tell a quick story at the end. Anyway.
All right.
But yeah, Charlie.
Well, you guys can pick. I have the two stories, like two big stories about times in my life that I think are interesting. Are I lived illegally on a sailboat for 2 years, and then also I rode my bicycle across the country. Those are two like adventure style stories
Yeah.
that I'm interested in telling. So
I think the first one sounds like
The sailboat.
Yeah,
the
you can
sailboat
sail
tail.
legally on a sailboat.
On a sailboat, yeah.
Like the illegal part.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know it was going to be illegal. I'm a man of the sea. I had this idea. I was moving. I was like looking for apartments, and I ran on Craigslist. I ran across, like, sailboats are very cheap. It's like wild how cheap they are. Okay. And so I was like, okay.
How cheap are they?
Like, I got a 37-foot boat for $3,000.
I love how, like, I don't even know, like, is 37, is that like a big boat? Is that like a medium boat?
It's not small. It's like,
it sounds large.
It's like bigger than, like
I mean, it's definitely longer than this this whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely longer than my apartment.
Yeah.
Most like a standard sailboat is like 20 to 30 feet usually.
Mm-hmm.
So this was like a little bit on the larger end, and it was like, and so I was like, oh, I got this like harebrained scheme. I'm like, well, I can like move on. I can live on a boat. Like I can just buy a boat and live on it. I can be a homeowner, which is nuts. And so I did that. But then after I like bought the boat, I learned like all the marinas in the Bay Area. This was in Alameda. They're like, there's only a certain percentage of boats that can be like full-time residences. You have to like, it's like a special status thing. You have to like
grandfathered in or like.
Well, it's just like a thing you gotta like sign, it's like a lease, you know, and then they're like, now we know you can use the boat as your address. It's like a legal thing. But like, they're all full. Like you can't just do that. Like you have to get on a wait list. It's like a whole fucking thing. And I'm like, why?
So you can live on a boat.
You can, yeah. But it's like, you gotta wait for years to get in. You
need a spot for the boat to be
right.
at.
And so this boat was already in the marina in a spot, but it was not like designated for living. But I was just like, I'm gonna live here and like pretend like I'm not living here, which is what they called like a sneak aboard, you know, instead of a
sneak aboard.
Sneak aboard. It was like what
even though it's your own boat.
I know. I was like, I was like the most libertarian I've ever been. I was like, I own this is my property. Like I can do whatever I want with it. Yeah.
So then, who are the people that you would need to worry about finding out that you're doing that?
The marina, like the harbor
workers?
Master. Yeah.
Okay.
It was like they like run the marina.
Are those guys like patrolling like the
patrol.
docks?
What they would do is they would like, you had to get to the dock, you had to use a little like electronic key card.
Okay, so they got you scanning in and out.
Like when you're coming in and out, which was, my first mistake. Because they did try to evict me once. They were like, they left a letter on my boat and they're like, you're living here, you gotta go. And I was like, the reason the boat was so cheap is that the engine didn't work. It was like an old gasoline engine and it was all fucked up.
Yeah.
So the boat was super cheap because it was like the engine doesn't fucking work. And like obviously it's a sailboat, so like you could still move it in theory, but like you need an engine to
So wait, how long were you just living there without moving it?
The whole time, it never left.
It never left?
Yeah.
So you're literally just using it as a place to live.
Sail on a sailboat.
Not on my sailboat. I did pay a neighbor to teach me how to sail on her boat, which was fun.
Wait, so you didn't even know how to sail when you bought the sailboat?
I was like, I work on boats. Like I know my way around a boat.
Is this because you were like a broke grad student, or is this?
Just before grad school, I was working. Ironically, I had a job when I bought the boat. I was working at the U.S. Geological Survey.
How old were you when
this was 2017. I was 24.
Okay.
So, and I was like, thought I was going to have the job, but then I got laid off like a week after I got the boat. So then I went from like having an apartment and a job to like being unemployed and
on the boat.
And I was like, so I went like into like the dirtbag status like so quickly. And then I was like substitute teaching and stuff for most of the time I was living on it.
Oh, okay.
And
so you just want to try it out, like
I was like, yeah, I mean, I'm like a Marine, I'm like, I like being on the water. I was like, it'd be cool. Yeah. And I was like, I had a whole vision, right? I was like, I'm gonna fix the boat. Yeah. I'm gonna like say, I'm gonna take it places and like, like sail up and down the coast and have these adventures.
But you never fucking left.
Well, because the biggest issue was the fucking engine, right? Like, this is how dumb I was. Like, I legitimately was like, I've never worked on an engine in my life. Like, I barely know how an engine works other than like gasoline goes in and it burns and then the boat goes. So like, and then I legitimately was like, I'm gonna like DIY fix this boat engine.
Yeah.
Which even if you know what you're doing, you can't do it in the boat. Like you have to pull the engine out of the boat and like work on it in like a garage. Like you can't. And that was even if you know exactly what you're doing. So like there was no way that was gonna happen. Yeah. And so that's why I never left the docks, because the engine was all fucked up. I did repairs on it. Like when I first got it, it was kind of old. It was old and like kind of shitty looking. So there's like two electricity systems on a boat. There's like the batteries like on the boat that like when you're out at sea are like the only power source, like 12-volt batteries. And then there's like normal wiring with like outlets for like shore power where you hook up to the dock like an RV would. And then to charge the batteries, you could get like a thing where it was like a charger that would plug into the wall, and then you'd hook it up to the batteries to like keep the batteries charged. And I got one of these chargers, like a used one, and it had like bare wires sticking out of the end. And I was like, I know how electricity works. Like I fucking got this. I bought like some alligator clamps and just like electrical taped them on. And then I was like, time to hook it up. And I hooked it up to the batteries, and then the like insulation on the wires just instantly like melted and caught on fire. And it was like, so the boat was on fire. And I was like, like, which is like, and like fire's like the worst thing that can happen on a boat. And so I was like,
I thought water was the worst thing that could
well,
happen.
but fire brings the water, you see, because once the fire burns the boat, then the water comes in. It's the worst of both worlds, really. So, and then there was a fire extinguisher on the boat, but it was like completely covered in rust. It was like ancient. And I was like, if this doesn't work, like I'm so fucked. Like this is over. And so, but luckily it did work. I shot it off, but it was like,
even though it was like extremely expired, the fire extinguisher.
God knows what was in it. Like it was probably like chemicals that they can't use for fire extinguishers anymore. It was like super fine, like dust. I don't know if you ever shot off. It's like, it's nuts how like, and it was, so I mean, it put the fire out, but it was such a fucking mess. Like the entire inside of my.
How long was the fire going before you put it out?
It felt like long time. It was probably 40 seconds.
Okay.
You know, it was like, it started to spread, and I was like, oh, no. And like, but luckily I thought, I was like, okay, there's a fire extinguisher, and I shot it off, and it was like, oh, but I filled the entire boat with fire extinguishers. And it was like, I never fully got it clean. I mean,
I bet.
I was just finding little bits of.
So wait, it was like fine dust? I thought it was like foam. It's not foam?
This one, maybe it used to be foam. It was literally like dust. Like it looked like it was like yellow dust that came out of it. And it worked. I mean, it put the fire out, but it was like such a fucking mess. So that was like I think that was like day 7. Like that was like the first week I had moved everything onto the boat. That was like one of the first mistakes. And I set the boat on fire. And then I painted it.
So then after that, were you like, I'm not going to touch the engine anymore?
Well, that was just the engine.
Fucked?
That was just the batteries. Yeah, the engine I still had hopes for a while. What I ended up doing, which was sort of stupid, was that like I found a guy, because this was like an antique boat. It was a 1967 boat. Like most modern boats don't have gasoline engines; they have diesel engines because it's more efficient. Gasoline is very dangerous in a boat because it's explosive, and the hull is like a confined space. Like propane is very dangerous on a boat because there's nowhere for it to drain. Anything that can collect like an explosive gas is like very dangerous on a boat.
Yeah.
But I did find a guy that restored these old engines, and he had a new one. So I paid him, and he helped me remove the old one, and I bought the new one from him, which was like more expensive than the fucking boat itself.
Yeah.
Which was such a dumb idea because I had no money at the time. Like I took out a loan to buy this engine.
Oh my God.
And then I like never put it in because it was like, he helped me like remove it, and then.
So why would you need the engine if you're not like using the boat, right?
Well, I wanted to use the boat. The goal was always like, I'm gonna get the boat working.
Gotcha.
But it was just like this Sisyphean task where I was like, okay, like
maybe that's why it was so cheap. It was like $3,000.
Oh, exactly. That's why it was so cheap. Yeah, and the guy who
we know this boat does not work.
So right. No, and the guy that sold it to me told me that. He's like the engine's. That's why it's cheap. The engine's busted. Like that's something you have to sort out. But then I was so naive that I was like, oh, I'll
do it myself.
I'll fix it. Yeah, I'm like, I can
YouTube.
I'm a handy guy. I got a Leatherman.
Yeah, you had a collection of flashlights.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was like YouTube. You know,
I'll be able to see in there for sure.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'm newly unemployed. Like I'm gonna have all this time to like work on the boat. Which and I did. Like I started a fire, and then I painted the boat, which is the other like dumbest mistake that I made, which is like because like every boat in a marina is white, right?
Yes.
You've seen boats like they're always white.
Why? Yeah, exactly.
Because of the sun.
Just to be reflective.
Well, what I did was I didn't observe this, and I was like, I'm gonna paint my boat cool, and I went to the marine hardware store and got this like navy blue paint. I was like, this is gonna look awesome. Yeah. And boat paint is so expensive. It was like for a little can like this, it was like $200. It was crazy.
Wow.
So I was like, all right, but worth it. Could look cool. I fucking paint the whole like deck house, like the top part of the boat with the windows and shit.
Yeah.
I painted all navy blue. It looks great. And this is like August. And I did this in the evening, and I go to bed, and I wake up in the morning, and I was like soaked in sweat.
Oh my God, that's brutal.
The inside of the boat, and it was like soft. Like it was like I was like, oh, it's like melting. Yeah, I was like, oh no. And so I drive back to I ran out and like
buy some white paint.
Yeah,
I need white paint.
It's so embarrassing. I had to go back to the same. It was like the same guy working too. I like bring like the white paint up and be like, do some touch ups, like. But I didn't want to give up.
It's just for detailing.
The boat was melting because you got dark colored paint.
Yeah, it was absorbing so much heat that it was like. I mean, I don't know if it would have fully like.
Boats are white.
That's why they're white. Yeah. Because there's you're on the water. There's no fucking shade. Any sun that is out there is going onto the boat. and heating up whatever material is there.
So within 2 weeks, you had set your boat on fire.
And then almost melted.
Oh, it almost melted, and then you paid double the price of a boat for the price of the boat for engine.
An engine. That was later. The engine was like a year or so later.
Okay.
These were like the early days where I was like doing the first touch-ups on everything.
Gotcha. So nothing that you did on this boat worked, basically.
I did. There was some success. Like I repaired, it's a fiberglass boat, so I learned how to repair fiberglass, which is not that hard. You get like an epoxy, 2-part epoxy that you mix. You take the fiberglass, it's just like a tape, like that you roll and cut. And you could like lay, it's like paper mache, you like layer it and like pour the epoxy. And there was like, it had a
boat was made of fiberglass.
Yeah, most boats are. Most modern boats. But this was an early fiberglass boat when they didn't realize how little fiberglass you actually need to be like structurally sound. So it was like really thick, which was good for me because it had like cracks and like other issues.
Pretty durable.
Yeah, and so it had like a balsa wood core inside the deck. So it was like like a fiberglass layer on top, balsa wood, and then more fiberglass.
Balsa wood to be like very buoyant
and just light and like light construction. But that had rotted, like the balsa wood had rotted out in places, like water had gotten in. Yeah. So
So you need to like epoxy those holes.
You would drill holes and like inject epoxy to like kind of honeycomb it with more glue and then put fiberglass over it. So it was like the rotted part was still there, but like you could sort of like reinforce it. Yeah. So like those are the boring parts, right? So I'm like, I did that stuff like okay. And I like revarnished, it had like wood trim, I revarnished all of it. So I like did, some stuff was successful, but the painting, well, even with the painting, I didn't give up originally too. I was like, okay, I went and got the white paint, and then I was like, I'll do lighter blue, right? I'm like, I can live with that. And I like mixed like the white and the blue together. And then I repainted again. I was like barely looking at it. I was just doing this all so frantically. And then I think I went out again that afternoon and like came back to the marina and like looked out across the marina and saw my boat. And it was like the ugliest blue I've ever seen. It was hideous. It was like cotton candy, like electric blue.
God.
And I was like, I just gotta paint. And I painted white again. I spent like
this is 37 feet boat, right? So it probably took
a lot of paint. Yeah, a lot of paint. So much paint. And I did a shitty job too. Like you're supposed to like sand and prime. I don't know how to do anything. I would just
throw the paint on there.
I just rinsed it down and like toweled it off and was like 2 hours later, it was like time to paint. Like, yeah, I didn't do anything right with the painting.
This is why women live longer than men.
It's true, because I did have a girlfriend at the time who endured so much with this situation.
Yeah.
Because one time,
what was she thinking during this whole thing? Was she supportive of the boat?
Supportive, disgustingly. So, like, she should not have been as supportive as she was.
Honestly, red flag.
Yeah. Well, because I was like a man with a job and an apartment when she met me, when we started going out, and then and then just like a complete nosedive. Later, I was like, and I was smoking a lot of weed at the time too, which also doesn't help the image. Where I was like. And her dad was like this well-to-do like business owner.
Oh, he probably hated you.
He was always nice.
You got the vibe. Okay, he was nice to you.
But he was nice to me. But I'm like, I look back on it and I'm like, they must have been thrilled when we broke up because they're like, this guy gets like reeks of weed all the time. He's like only partially employed, lives on a boat, and I like one time after they like almost evicted me, I had to come up with all these schemes to like make it so that I wouldn't, they would not know I was living there.
Yeah.
And one of the things I did, one of the most insane, embarrassing things I did was that I needed someone to I need to prove where I live, and so I picked a random address in Alameda, like a house. And I was just like, I hope no one at the fucking marina lives there. I just picked some random address and then I asked my girlfriend's dad, I was like, can you pretend to be my landlord?
Bro, that is a bad. That's a bad.
I cannot. But to this day, I'm like,
and he said yes.
He did. He was nice.
He's a cool guy.
He was cool with it. I mean,
he's really
in private. He's probably like, you gotta get rid of this guy. But he was cool. He was like. He like sent them an email and was like, Charles is my tenant. He lives at this address. And I was like, thank you.
Dude, he's sticking his neck out for you.
He was. To this day,
could have gotten into trouble.
Shouts out. Yeah. He's the owner of a series of pizza restaurants in Sacramento. Shout out Chicago Fire. If you want to go to Chicago Fire, great deep dish pizza and owned by a man, who's really willing to stick his neck out for a loser. So I would appreciate that to this day. The other thing I would do is because they were tracking the key card, I had a rubber dinghy, like an inflatable one that came with the boat that I would use to row around in the estuary and shit, which was fun. And I would, so to avoid, if I came home late at night, what I would do is I had my dinghy in my car and I would inflate it at the public
So you didn't have to scan in.
and I would row around into the marina so that they wouldn't.
Do you ever see did the dock master or whoever that was ever see you doing that?
Yeah.
No, because they were usually not there at night. They weren't doing that much like eye to eye observation. It was more just like
Just the
proxy.
scanning.
Yeah. They'd be like, well, now also the other dumb thing I would do is I'd leave my car in the parking lot all the time, rather than parking out on the street. So they'd be like, your car is here. And I was lying. When they first accused me, I like went up to the office and like did like a method acting where I was like, okay, well, I am living here. Yeah, and but
You've been taking improv classes. You're like, let's try them out right now.
We're gonna do this.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'm adopting the role of someone that isn't living here
Yes.
and has been falsely accused, right? So I was like, okay, so how would that make me feel as this character?
You'd be angry.
And I was like, I'd be indignant. I'd be outraged. And so I like did like a
Start
Karen.
shouting at them.
Yeah, I like marched in there and I was like, what's the meaning of this? Like, how dare you accuse me of this? And they like, I don't think they bought it at all. I think I just exhausted them by like being so argumentative.
Did they like laugh at you? Like,
They were kind of just like befuddled. They were like, no, you're clearly living here. And I was like, I am not. And they're like, your car is here overnight, like all the time. And I was like, I drive my car here and work on my boat, and then I ride my bike home. And
they're like, why would you do that?
did not have a bike at the time. Like they were like, and they were like, all right. And I think eventually they were like, we'll let you out with a warning. And I was like, and then after that, I was like, time to get.
But the warning is stop living on this boat.
The warning is like, don't do that.
So when did that conversation happen?
That was, I moved onto the boat July 2017. This was like April 2018.
So you were getting away with it for a while.
For a while before they finally were like, no. And so, and then.
Did you get any other like verbal warnings before that, or that?
No.
So that was the.
I had heard like word of mouth around the marina was like, you got to be careful, you know, like because there were people that were definitely doing the same thing that I was doing, and we kind of like you never acknowledged to each other. People were like, I fucking see you out there.
Yeah.
I know what we're up to.
They're like also in a dinghy, like at like 2 a.m, rowing across.
Well, there's like two, because there's like people that like just own boats, right? And those you can see, because it's always like an older white guy, usually polo shirt. You know, he's coming to hang out.
He's got
his
Sperry's.
pristine boat on the weekends.
He plays golf.
He's a nice fella, but he's like. Then there's like you'll see like the rats that like the people that, like, that are living there. You're like we spot each other from a ways away. You're like you are doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So and it was like there was like a guy.
You don't belong to a country club.
Like you don't have like you're at the opposite end of the spectrum. It's like, you're, like,
exactly.
The most like comfortable in society and like
On the edge,
criminals,
Yes.
The only two people that are there all the
Maybe
time.
you have a character of a guy who owns a boat and goes to country clubs. You know, it's like, well, yes, this is mine. This is.
I feel like the age makes it so hard though. Like, how are you going to be like in your early 20s?
Yeah.
Crypto millionaire.
Right, I could have embodied, but I looked like shit at the time too. I was like, I was smoking weed all the time. I was poor. Like I had like, I looked shabby. You know,
How
like.
long did your relationship last until in this boat? Sorry.
No, well, she did.
Did it make it past the boat, or did she?
It did actually. It broke up. She broke up with me. We had it on again, off again. She broke up with me once.
Nice. Little Strait of Hormuz action.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was calling it at the time. I'm like, listen, we got to cease oil exports. But no, there was like one time where we had like it was a very stable relationship overall, but like we'd had some like some.
How long had you guys dated before the boat?
We dated probably 6 months before I moved onto the boat.
Damn, very supportive.
And then that fall.
When did you move off the boat?
This was summer 2019.
So a full year after the warning?
Yeah. No, I made it another year. Yeah, easy. Yeah.
And then when did she break up with you?
Well, she broke up with me in November 2018.
Okay.
Initially,
so you were living on the boat.
I was still living on the boat, and I had actually I had pulled the window. The old windows were like these plexiglass things, and they had cracks in them. And I found a place that was like a custom plexiglass place, and I had new windows fabricated for pretty cheap.
I feel like renting would have been cheaper than this.
Probably when you actually added up how much fucking money I spent on this stupid thing, I'm sure it did not break even.
Like, dude, you repainted the boat like blue and white. That's like, how many barrels of paint is that?
That was already like $400 probably. Yeah, no, I shudder to think like how the finances actually looked.
The engine, like
the engine was the biggest dumb thing. Yeah. But then I pulled the old windows out, and she lived in Sacramento, and she was like coming down for the weekend to visit.
And she would stay on your fucking boat?
She would stay on the boat with me,
Oh my god, dude.
I mean, I will say sleeping on the boat was like pretty chill. It was like, you're like a little bit of rocking, it was quiet.
That didn't bother you, the rocking?
Did you have a bathroom on the boat? Like,
I did, yeah. But there was also a bathroom at the marina you could use.
Okay,
that's where I would shower and stuff.
Right. And then how did you
Well, it came with a normal toilet. I installed a self-composting toilet, which was kind of nasty. It was like, it had like a little chamber that you put like soil and stuff in that you would like, shit.
So basically you're being a cat.
Yeah, but it was like, it works.
Litter for yourself.
No, it doesn't smell, like it does like break it down into kind of just like, like soil, like it was like, it did work.
And how do you dispose of that?
Honestly, the little like the solid chamber, I never had to empty it. It broke itself down. Yeah.
Really?
No, and it doesn't. It's weird. Like I was
so
like,
you just have years of your shit in that boat.
Well, the idea, I guess, is that
I feel like it's
get,
extremely toxic in there.
You had to put there was like some whole instruction thing. You had to put like some special shit in there to like help. You got a little ecosystem, or whatever. I was shocked because I was like,
garden from your shit.
You could practically, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I never opened.
You would survive on Mars.
It was like less nasty than I also like didn't use it that much. I would just go to the marina restroom.
Right.
The only nasty thing with the self-composting was that it had like a piss jug on the front that you just pee down into, and you had to go empty the piss jug.
Oh, so you empty your piss jug every week or something?
Yeah, you'd have to like empty. I would just empty it over the side. Like,
gotcha.
Yeah, which is a little
toss it
like,
in the bay.
Yeah, and how did you get water on the boat?
It had a tank under one of the seats in the cabin, and I would bring the hose from the dock and fill it up. It was potable water, and then but it didn't have running water. I had a hand pump at the sink.
Wow.
That would get water. It didn't have hot water or anything.
Yeah.
If I wanted hot water, I would either have to go to the marina restroom, or I had a kettle and a denatured alcohol stove.
And this restroom in the marina, what is it? Like a YMCA, or what is it?
It's like a gym. It was like they had like a restroom part, and they had like showers.
Did you have a membership to the gym?
No, I mean, it wasn't like an actual gym. It was just like the way a gym restroom was set up, where it was like.
But there's a shower there. And
there's showers.
Who uses that restroom?
Surprising amount of people, yeah, because I think people are there for like other people that like owned the boats would like be there for a few days. Like you were allowed to be there overnight for like 3 or 4 days a week. You just couldn't be there the whole time.
It's free.
Yeah, I mean, you're paying a slip fee to have your boat there. You're paying $400 a month.
If you own the boat, then you get to use.
Yeah, you're a member. You have your key because you open the restroom with the key that you use on the gate. Yeah.
So you're allowed to be there for a couple nights in a row.
Right. But it was like they were like, you're clearly here all the time.
Yeah. Okay. I feel like that's like a loophole you could abuse if you're allowed to be there for like a couple nights.
Yeah,
like try to spend the night like in your car elsewhere.
Right. Yeah. And after that, I got smarter where I'd like leave my car only a couple nights to kind of create the illusion that I'm only here sometimes. And then of course,
were you ever worried about cameras like while you were rowing your dinghy?
Sometimes I think later on they probably did do that. I think they were cracking down at some point. But like I said, at some point I was just like, well, this is where I'm at. I got to make it work as long as I can. So yeah, it was interesting.
Maybe you have some stalkers. Like I like to, film Charlie naked.
So how did you go another year after getting the warning?
So they just like.
I fucking did the dinghy thing. I would leave my car. I was like being real sneaky, and
but they never confronted you again.
No, I got out of there clean. Yeah.
2 years on the boat.
I wonder if they knew the whole time they were just afraid of confrontation.
Yeah. Well, no, I think
they were intimidated by you.
Because again, the spectrum of people that are doing that are like anywhere from like me, which is like kind of like a loser in his 20s, but like an overall upstanding citizen. Like my boat was clean.
I'm sure there were some sketchy people.
Oh yeah, well there's one guy. That's the other tale that comes out of this. There was this guy that pulled in next to me for a while.
He two guys on his boat.
Oh yeah, it was 2 guys on this boat. Mm-hmm. And they had a German Shepherd on the boat. And these guys, they're always yelling at each other. And then the German Shepherd is just stuck on this fucking boat, this poor dog, and shitting everywhere. And I was like, these seem like interesting guys. And I got to talk to the one guy, this old guy with like an oxygen tank.
Yeah.
And he struck me as like a friendly old like hippie. Yeah. Which was wrong. I was
Were they a couple?
No. Well, I eventually explained who he was, which was part of the story. But I was like, okay, he seems like a nice guy. He lives now 7 feet away from me. So I invited him over to my boat one night to like smoke weed and hang out. Yeah. And he like started with like, oh yeah, I used to be like a Grateful Dead roadie, Sure. I'm like, okay, so this is gonna be like a guy with like some fun tales. Cool. And it just like went dark so quick where he was like, then I was a numb, hurt my back, like shit got real bad after that. I'm like, okay. So
Lieutenant Dan vibes.
Well then, and he's like, and then I was in federal prison for 30 years. And I was like, yeah, I was like, oh fuck.
You're like, okay, can you get off my boat, please?
I was like, fucking like, so.
He's like, you want to see my knives?
Yeah. I was like, so you don't have to tell me, but like,
what happened?
Why'd you go to prison? And he was like, transporting stolen property across state lines, which I was like, all right, And then he was like, and murder.
And murder.
It's like, and murder. I was like, oh, okay, so it's probably the murder.
He like invites you out the next day. He's like, "You want to go axe throwing, bro?"
A more remote
Maybe
location.
that was like the cover up for the murder. Like he murdered and then he like
He transported the body across state lines.
Yeah, I don't.
State lines, yeah.
He never went into detail about those crimes, and I was like, not gonna press him. But then
But he did volunteer. He did say murder.
He did tell me murder, yeah, and I was like, okay, cool. And then, but then the most sort of intriguing and alarming thing was that like the timeline for him, he got released from prison in like the 90s, and then I was like, so like, what you been up to since then? And he's like, from what I could surmise, because he had this way of talking that was like vague, that just vague enough that you'd be like, okay, because he was describing, he's like, yeah, I've been in the Bay Area a long time. He's like, I was running this thing, is what he kept saying. He's like, I had this good thing going in Oakland, which was like, with quote, and this is the phrase he uses, with quote, my friends the Vietnamese. And I was like, okay, so, and then from what I could gather from the way he described it, it was like he was running like an illegal gambling den, like a casino, like in somewhere in Oakland with like a Vietnamese gang, I guess, or like someone like he was in with the Vietnamese. And he kept talking about them, and he's like, it was going good. We were having a great time. Like he's like running. That's like. Do
you know what they were gambling on?
Idea. No idea. I'm picturing like full like the cockfights or like like. Russian, who the fuck knows? Like I'm picturing the most like lurid cinematic stuff. Who knows what it actually was? But
maybe just some mahjong.
Maybe maybe just fucking like checkers. Who the fuck knows?
Yeah.
But and I was like,
Connect
okay.
Four.
So like you're running this thing, and he's like, yeah, everything's going great. We're all doing good. He's like, and then, and this is the exact quote because it's burning in my brain. He goes, then there were some killings.
Whoa.
Like, he says it the way that you talk about like water damage. Where he's like, and then there was a leak. He's like, yep, some killings. And he's like, before I know it, the Oakland Police Department's knocking down my door with a bomb robot, getting me out.
Bomb robot?
Yeah, and I'm like, wait, what the fuck? And then
he didn't say like who he killed. He just
there were some
killings. Yeah, passive voice, like who knows who did the killing?
Murdered 4 people.
Yeah, I don't know if it was him or it was some of the Vietnamese. I don't know if they were killing each other. Who the fuck knows?
Just
but like
people were dying.
Like
some people died at the at the place he was running, and then but that was the most mysterious part. It was like between the bomb robot extracting him from his apartment, which who knows if that's fucking true or not. I mean, he could have been telling tall tales. And then now he's on a boat in the marina, a free man. And I was like, okay. And I didn't really press him because I'm like, I don't fucking know. But like, I think he was like on the run. Like, I think he was like actively evading arrest by the time I met him. Because
fugitive.
What's his name and what's his
Jim Pulse? Yeah, Polse. I think you can look him up. If you Google him, he's in the news for being arrested with meth labs, a lot of meth crime and burglary rings and stuff.
Done everything. Yeah.
He's really had a storied criminal career. I think he is back in prison now.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
When he was like
70s.
He was old. He was he might be dead now too. Because he did at one point because he would see me after that. Like we were like friendly in that weird way.
Yeah.
And like one time he came, I was like going to take a shower, and he like came up behind me like on the dock and like put his arm around my shoulder and was
while
like,
you were taking a shower?
No, like while I was walking. Yeah, while taking a shower. He came in the shower.
That's a scary vibe.
That would have been really scary. Yeah, and I probably would have been like, hey, yeah. But he put his arm around my shoulders. He was like, Charlie, I'm gonna die soon. And I was like, cool, Jim. It's like early in the morning. I'm not ready to hear this. I'm forgetting where he was going with it. He just like wanted to he was like, I'm dying soon.
Did he elaborate on that at all?
Well, he said he was sick. I mean, he had an oxygen tank. I don't know if he had cancer or what, but
yeah.
Or he might have been telling more tall tales. But then the guy that was on his boat with him was like this slightly younger guy, but still middle-aged dude. And I was like, who's this?
Maybe he was prison bitch.
Maybe. Well, he said, I asked him, I'm like, who is the other guy on your boat? And this is, again, burned into my brain because the way he said it was like so weird. He was like, that's Rob. He's my lawyer. He's not practicing. Those are like the 3 data points he gave me for that guy. And I'm like, I feel like that tells me both a lot and nothing. I was like, I don't know.
He's my lawyer, and he's not practicing.
And they I said, I would hear them like yelling at each other, like they didn't like each other.
Wow.
So I get the sense that they're both like, some went south on them.
Yeah.
And they both were like hanging out,
kind of like both fugitives, maybe.
Maybe he was part of that like gambling den.
Who the fuck knows? I mean, I wish I had the full story because it's like it was fascinating.
Yeah.
Just 2 men living on a boat.
Just two old criminals just living with this big shitty dog on a boat. Yeah. They're both like, Jim was old. Jim was probably in his 60s or maybe 70s. Rob was probably, I don't know, not that, like 50s maybe, but And Jim would like he'd bring me stolen shit sometimes as like a gift.
Like what? What would
he brought me
bring
like a radar unit for a boat, like that one of those big circular things, and it had like fucking wires hanging out of it. And he's like, I want you to have this, and I was like.
All right.
It's like, you stole this. I know you stole this.
You don't want to be in possession.
But then I was like, also, I'm like, I'm not going to turn down gifts from the fucking
Yeah, you don't want to piss him off.
convicted murderer.
Yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
like,
Kind of puts you in a bad situation.
yeah, so I was like, hey, oh, thanks so much, man. Like, I love
That's
it. Like,
that's funny.
Yeah, I was
honestly,
like-
like being offered a gift by like a convicted murderer
Yeah, the way
and
a
trying
cat-
to be polite,
Right.
so you don't get murdered.
exactly. Like the way a cat brings you like a mouse and you're like, this is disgusting. But you're like, you know, the cat, you can tell the cat's so proud of it. That
Exactly.
You're like, oh, nice job, buddy. But he's
Yeah,
like, I'm like,
yeah.
thank you, Jim. Like I brought it inside and was like, I really fucking hope no one
You're like,
sees
what do
me
I do with this?
Yeah.
and
I'm
then
like,
you
this
don't
is-
want him to ever see that you don't have it.
Right, I'm like, and I would tell him something. I would even be like, oh, I'm gonna put that radar thing in.
Yeah. It has to just like live in your boat forever. Like
Yeah.
you can't throw it in the garbage.
Right, I can't put it by the dump. Like he's gonna see that I got rid of it. He's gonna be mad. Yeah, so I was
Yeah,
like trying to
yeah,
keep
yeah.
in his good graces.
Yeah.
And then the last I heard, he had said he was like, we're going to Pittsburgh soon. Not Pennsylvania, the one in California, the one up in the Delta, towards the Delta.
That's when they sailed away.
One day, and it wasn't even like he was like, that was his vague plan. And then one day they're just gone. Like they built.
They didn't say bye. They
Nope, it was just and such is the way of things. at the
They
movie.
How long would they-
Working, you know, they got their boat working.
Well, their boat worked, yeah, because they came in. They were.
It
This
already
was.
worked.
I think they moved in December 2018. I think I had my fun hangout with him like January, and I think they were gone another month or two after that. They were not there that long, and that was a way of things. Like you'd have like a neighbor for a while, and they'd be
Right.
gone. It was like a weird aspect of it.
a month and a half.
That was
Probably
that your
around
only
there.
neighbor, or like?
No, I had other people. There was a
Most
cool
interesting.
lady that lived next to me. She was like a middle-aged lady. She was like this like cool like she was a lesbian. I don't know why that's like an important detail, but
But they were
That's
all
helpful.
living on the boat. Those
no,
were
this
your
this
neighbors.
Mindy, the cool lesbian, she was just like she's owned a boat and came down, but she was
gotcha.
cool because she saw me again smoking weed in the back of my boat one time, and she was like, I'll make you a deal. We got to talking, and she was like, I'll make you a deal. I'll teach you how to sail for free if you bring me a joint every time.
Oh.
And I was like, easiest deal in the world, Mindy.
Yeah.
So like Mindy and I would hang out. We'd take the boat out. She'd teach me how to sail.
feel like-
and then afterwards I would give her a joint and we'd hang out.
I feel like Mindy just wanted your company because this was like 2018, 2019. You could buy weed in California
it wasn't
easily.
like she couldn't get it. Yeah,
Nah, she wanted to hang.
She was being cool, and she said she was like,
Yeah.
because she was like she worked here in the city somewhere, and she was like, oh, like all my friends are like, you know, my age, and they're married and they're busy. No one ever wants to like just come sail with me. But she's like, you, unemployed loser, you have nothing but time.
You
And
seem
I was
like you'd be great company.
I was like, you're correct, Mindy. I'm absolutely happy to hang out whenever you want. So
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
we were
yeah,
like
yeah.
buddies. I made
Cool.
friends with another old guy that was like, I could never tell if he was living on his boat for a while, and then I did actually go to his apartment one time, so he did have a home, but he was there all the time. He's like kind of this like portly, like older guy, and his boat looked like shit. It had all this stuff all over it, and he. Again, I don't know. I can never tell if people were like telling tall tales. He claimed to be a former Navy SEAL. This guy named Don. And I was like, I don't know.
Did he look like a Navy SEAL? Like,
I would say that he had put on some weight since his Navy SEAL training days. He was a bit of a portly gentleman. I helped him. He fell in the water one time. I found him.
more like Navy sea lion.
Yeah.
Navy walrus.
Navy walrus. Yeah.
Navy Harbor SEAL.
I heard this big splash while I was walking down. I heard this big splash, and Don is like next to his boy. He's like, "Help!" What? So I was like,
Did you like throw him one of those donuts?
I came and I just like brought him over to like and helped him pull him out. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, you saved the guy.
you took it a tumble. Yeah, it was not good.
Like, I thought in Navy SEAL training you would figure out how to hit,
How to
like,
swim?
Yeah, like I figured you would
swim. You're
You're more-
Like I'm starting to doubt your entire history right now.
I don't know. But then one time he was like, you should. He had like this. I forget. He was from New York. He had like a very comical like cab driver accent. He's like, you gotta come over to my apartment.
Okay, yeah, the classic New York.
Yeah,
accent.
yeah. And so he was like,
That's endearing.
yeah. I went over with him and had dinner with him and his wife one time, and they did have like a nice little apartment in Alameda.
Okay.
And I was like, Don, do you just like not like your wife? Like, why are you on your shitty boat all the time? But you know, that's a middle-aged man thing for sure. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm going down to my sailboat. I don't know why it sounds like Peter Griffin in my head. Like, Lois.
Did you get the vibe that they were cool with each other, like him and his
They
wife?
seemed like they
seemed
were
fine?
nice. Yeah, he was like a big Trump guy. I could tell. So like I was like, we're not talking politics, you know. But but he was nice. They were nice. Like it was nice of them to have me over. Like
Yeah.
I would text him every once in a while, just like, hey Don, how you doing? He was another friend I made. Yeah, there was like a few cool people. The guy that sold me the boat also was there a lot. He had like another larger, like a catamaran, like the 2-hulled one.
Right.
And he and his family would like go. They would like take it to like Mexico and shit.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And I helped him run this weird side business for months. I almost forgot about this. He would sell. He was kind of a weird guy. He wasn't like a rich boat guy. He was kind of a dirtbag, but like a little more above board than I was. And he had this weird side business where he sold. You ever seen on like a agricultural field, like where they have those big like plastic cubes with like the metal cage around them for storing water? He sold those. And he would sell them, like most of the market for those is like preppers and like weirdo people that want to like store a bunch of drinking water.
Right.
Yeah.
He had this storage unit in Alameda where you just sell them for cash. And so he was like, you want to help me? He's like, you can take a cut of it if you help me sell these things. And I was like, all right. So I had this weird thing where I would just put these Craigslist ads up for water cubes and then sell them to people out of a storage unit. That was part of my side hustle at the time. People pay good money for those fucking things.
I got a buddy who went to Burning Man and helped set up an art installation that was entirely made of those cubes.
Oh, I bet I sold them, so I bet.
Yeah. You were in that supply chain.
Yeah. One guy came and bought like a fuck ton of them one time.
That's probably what.
Yeah, it was probably my friends.
That many of them.
Yeah. Either he's like planning like it's either like compound people or like Burning Man people.
Yeah.
Or maybe everyone. Because I feel like a farmer gets them from like some more like normal source probably.
Yeah.
So that was a weird side hustle I had. That was.
So I guess like you were. What was the last straw that you were like, I can't live on a boat anymore?
Oh well, it wasn't like a fed up thing. It was just I got back into grad school.
Oh.
And the campus I was going to go to was in Marin County, which is where I'm still to this day about to finish.
So this was 2019 that you got into grad school. Yeah.
It's been a long time.
But you've been working on your PhD.
Hey, congratulations.
No, it's just a master's.
Charlie got his graduation last week?
I did. I went to the commencement. I'm still not officially done. I have to do my defense, but I'm close. Yeah, grad school's been a whole other ordeal where I've been like, I'd take time off, I do part-time, switch my project. So it's dragged much longer than a master's should take. But when I got back into grad school, I was like, well, I got to move. I can't move the boat. The new engine wasn't in it. You know, it was still all fucked up. And I was like, and I need like, Wi-Fi and like running water and shit. So I was like, all right, I'll just sell the boat. I'll get an apartment.
Did you sell the new engine also?
I did. I took a loss on the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because it was the most insane thing in the world to try to sell because it sounded like a complete scam.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I'd bring people to see the boat. I'd be like, check it out. It's pretty cool, right?
Nothing works.
There's no engine. I'd be like,
there was a fire.
Well, because it sounds insane to be like, there's no engine. There is another. I have an engine. It's at a second location, like that you can come to me with, and I'd be like, "Do you want to come to the storage unit that I have, where I have the engine?"
And
which sounds like it's like I'm gonna kill them.
Yeah.
But luckily, one guy was like cool enough to be like, "Okay," like, and I like drove him to the storage. I'm like, "See the engine? There it is." Like,
cool enough or stupid enough.
Yeah. What make the engine work on your boat? So you just.
Well, this was a functioning one. I pulled the old one out and I bought this new rebuilt one. I just hadn't put it in because they had to prep the engine bed and all this shit. And I just, at some point, it was just too much work and I wasn't doing it because I was also lazy.
Right.
And at that point, I was like kind of eyeing the exit where I was like, okay, I'm probably not going to fucking finish fixing this thing. And so luckily this guy wanted to do the exact same thing. He's like, so I'm thinking about living on this thing. And I was like, let me tell you. Sat down, I was like, listen, you can do this. It's not easy. There's all the rules. Like you got to do all this. So it worked out that way. He was nice enough to believe me, but I took a loss on the whole. I sold it for more than I bought it for, but that was because I included the engine.
Right.
And it was still, but I mean, I saved a lot of money on rent, so
Yeah. Damn.
And I had a lot of adventures on the dinghy in the estuary.
Yeah.
Row
There
around.
you go, yeah.
A row over to Oakland. A row over to Quinn's Lighthouse of comedy Oakland fame. I was over there a lot.
So I guess, would you still be living on the boat if you like?
Probably not. I don't know. I mean, a lot of different. My life is a lot different than it was. That at that time. I probably would have. I think it would have depended on what would happen with work. Like if I got a job where I had to move, or like because I was working similar to what I do now. By the end of it, I was working as an on-call biologist, which is what I still do on the side.
Yeah.
And that's good work because you're not centralized in one location, and it's part-time, so it's like a very flexible lifestyle.
Yeah.
I think if I had gotten like a full-time job somewhere, I probably would have done the same thing. But I would do it again. Like, part of me is like, I would do it again. I know enough now that I'm like, don't get a working boat.
For sure.
Don't do this. Get one that you can live on legal. You know, all that shit.
Don't paint it blue.
Don't paint it blue.
Don't
like,
set it on fire.
don't hook the battery charger up that way. So I'm like, I feel like I gained enough knowledge that it would be interesting, but I'm in no rush to do it again. I mean, I work on, I spend enough time on boats for work.
It seems like you were happy on the boat. Like
it was chill. It was a fun time.
Yeah.
I was like embracing like the dirt bag. Like I was like, I'm just like, I was fully like aware of like what type of guy I was.
I mean, it's in your 20s, right? So you kind of, that's the time to do that.
Yeah, I was just like, I smoke weed all the time. I live illegally on a boat. I'm an improv comedian. I'm working as a substitute teacher. I'm like, I know exactly who I am.
So you were doing improv at that point?
I was, that was when I was still doing improv. I would go up to Sacramento to do it though. That was where I was kind of in the scene up there. I was on like a couple of.
So you drive to.
I would drive to. When my girlfriend lived up there, I'd met her doing improv, and so I kind of was still very. I would go up there for a few days, come back down. She would come down to my boat. When I told her she broke up with me, I pulled all the windows out. She came down. I thought she was going to help me put the new windows in, and she broke up with me. So then I was.
So she told you she was going to help you with this thing, and then just broke up with you.
I think it was sort of like she'd been thinking about it, that it came out.
Did she help you put up the windows before she broke up?
No. So she left, and she was like, "Do you want me to still help you with the windows?" I was like, "You can go."
At least she offered.
She did. She was very nice.
Well, sounds like a stand-up person.
She was great. Yeah. No, she was like one of the nicest, like most like. Like a better person.
Overall, sounds like a good person.
When we got back
partner.
together later for a few months.
After the boat.
No, I was still on the boat, and then after I moved.
Was it because of the boat?
No, it was for a variety of
other
reasons.
stuff.
I think the boat didn't help. I think she was like,
a bit of a stressor on the relationship.
I think she was. It was a little bit of a weird, but I think she was like cool with the boat. I think she just mostly wasn't cool with me being like kind of like a loser. I think she was kind of like, that's not super great, and I was like, I agree. But then. We did get back together for a while, and then we broke up again later on. Sort of, like it just didn't work out. It was cool. It was very peaceful sort of deal.
You broke up after the boat, just like finally.
Yeah, I was living in an apartment by the time we broke up. Okay, so it wasn't like the boat. It wasn't like it's the boat or me. It was like
the two most important women in your life.
Yeah, I'm like, listen, you know what I'm gonna pick. Yeah.
I feel like it's like that with that guy, the Navy SEAL guy too. It's like,
I'm sure if his wife was like, you got to get rid of your shitty boat, you'd be like, absolutely not, divorce.
I'm guessing
these guys, like their boats or their vehicle is like their second,
Oh yeah, right? I know a lot of guys like that.
Working on it.
Do you feel like that's like an American thing, or do you think they have that in other countries? Because I feel like people.
No, I think it's a universal.
But Canada's kind of
America.
No, I think that's a universal thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Being like super into like trucks, like your pickup truck.
Maybe not trucks, but like I think like
America's really into trucks.
Tinkering. I think every old man, you need like a thing that you go work on without your wife. Like I feel like that's a common thing where it's like I had this thing for better or worse.
And I get to spend time not with my wife.
I like tools. I like it's a common like a stereotype of guys like doing tools or little like tinkery things. I feel like is a common. I certainly saw it plenty in the Marine. I was like, a lot of these guys are married and their wife is not here. Like they are here. Sure. They're like the boat is their place. Like that's where they come to do stuff.
Yeah. This is crazy. Just the visual of you on a boat, like smoking weed, and just like.
That part sounds nice.
I smoked a lot of weed. That was like a period where I smoked weed like constantly. It was like way too much. Like, and then I eventually I think I switched antidepressants, and whatever one I was on, I think had been suppressing all the paranoia and anxiety that I would have been feeling when I smoked weed. And so then like a few years later, like I pretty much like I do every once in a while now, but like mostly I don't like it. Like I fully don't. I'm not a stoner anymore because it just like I just don't feel very good when I do it. Whereas before it was like, this is nice.
Yeah, I feel like for the most part, weed makes me paranoid and anxious.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at these days.
Yeah.
I like to smoke really weak weed. I think I mentioned that before.
I wish.
It doesn't work for you? Have you tried?
No, I wish they was just more like widely available, like cheap. I want just like shitty weed.
Dude, I'm walking into dispensaries and I'm like, give me your worst shit. Like, what is the weakest thing you have? And they usually like laugh at me, but I'm like, I actually do want like the lowest THC content.
Because I like to smoke a whole joint. Like
exactly, it's the smoking. The smoking is nuts.
But it's like if I smoke a whole joint now, I'm like, I have to go to the hospital. I can't do it. It's bad.
You might enjoy like a 2%, 3% THC
probably
joint. Yeah.
It's like so, yeah. And I'm glad. I mean, that was, like I said, like not a sustainable lifestyle. So I'm like, I'm happy that it like naturally resolved itself. Like, as I went back to, I was like, I got my shit together.
25 when it started, right? 26.
Yes, I was July 2017. So I was 24.
24.
And I was 26 when I moved off.
2 years on a boat.
2 years. 2 years before the mast, as they say.
Sorry, where exactly was this? This was like
This was in Alameda, on the east side of Alameda, at the end of Grand Street, right across from the island where the Coast Guard is.
Yeah.
I was directly across from like Jack London Square in Oakland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I could see Jack London Square. I could row my boat over to it.
Cool.
If the tide was right.
I wonder if we could retroactively get you in trouble for this. You know?
That'd be funny. Yeah, the statute of limitations. I mean, I don't know what they could do. They could sue me for like back rent or something. Maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think they had. Well, the funny thing is, a couple years ago, I was in Alameda with a friend, and I was like, we should go see if my fucking boat is still there.
Mm-hmm.
And we tried to go into the marina, and there was this trick that you used to be able to do that was sort of like, it was like a gray area where like a lot of times what you would do if you didn't want to use your key card, or you were carrying stuff, is you wait for someone to be coming in or out of the gate, and you just catch the door, right?
Yeah.
So me and my friend were like, we'll just do that. You know, I don't have a key anymore, and so I tried to do that. And the guy stops me. He's like, "Oh, like
you scan yourself,
he's
motherfucker."
Like, you got to. He's like, they're really strict about it now. And he said, I guess they used to have a bunch of people that lived here, and they had to get. Really
it was because of
about
you.
It. And I was like, so they like it was like coming back to like a country where like a dictatorship is taken over, and I'm like, it's like a police state now. And he like pointed, there's like cameras all over the place, and I was like, holy shit, they like
there actually were cameras.
Oh yeah, like they like fully. They were like we gotta fucking lock this shit down.
Yeah.
I think COVID probably did it too.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people tried to do that during COVID.
That makes sense.
From what I've heard. So I think that was probably I don't think it was just me, but I was certainly like, I'm sure one of the things were like, there was that one guy, like I think I was part of the problem for sure. So I'd like, they'd really gotten, so I still to this day don't know if my boat is still there or not. One of these days I want to go back and see.
You just left this like.
Well, I sold it to a guy, yeah. I gave him we signed it over and like.
I thought you just sold the engine.
No, I sold the boat with the engine.
Oh,
yeah.
And I wonder if that guy fixed it.
I wonder. I don't know. To this day, I'm like, I wonder how he's doing. Yeah, he was just like a nice, like Chinese guy.
Right,
yeah.
But you told him that like the nothing works here.
I told him. Yeah, I was very honest about it. And there was even some other defects that I found. I had it formally inspected by like a marine inspector too, which was also expensive.
You found a bunch of shit.
Oh yeah, it had problems. The mast step, which is like, because the mast is just a big fucking pole. Right, and it sits on like the hull, like the bottom point of the boat.
Yeah.
And it's not bolted. I mean, it's bolted down like a little bit, but it's mostly just held in place by its own weight. And then it sticks up through a hole in the cabin and everything.
Yeah.
And it sits on this thing called the mast step, which is like a big piece of metal that supports it. And the mast step was very corroded. So it was fine at the dock.
That's a ticking time bomb.
But the mast is, it holds the fucking sail. It has a tremendous amount of stress on it when you're actually like at sea.
Yeah.
So he's like, it's probably not safe to like sail this thing.
Wow.
You would have to get that replaced or reinforced somehow.
Yeah.
That was another.
That's got to be a crazy like operation. You got to lift that whole thing out, replace the mast.
You'll see them do that at like a boat, and they have to like fucking pull. Yeah. And I was like, that's like money that I could not even remotely.
Just buy a new boat at that point.
Right. It's like that was the other thing. I mean, I was like, I can save all this money by like doing everything myself, which did help, but like still you had to buy all the shit. And I was like partially unemployed. It was like, I was like, I do not have the money to like actually put the work into this thing. Like there's just no way I will bankrupt myself. So it was an expensive venture, but it was fun. It was like, like I said, now it's like I've gotten so many dumb stories out of it that it's like, I'm like, it was worth it just for that, honestly.
Wait, was it weird like sleeping on a boat? Because like, it's like,
Well, the Alameda, like the Oakland estuary is not like the open sea. It's pretty calm.
Yeah.
If the wind came through, it would but I kind of like the rock. I don't get seasick either, which is a major advantage for my line of work.
How'd your girlfriend do when she slept on the boat?
She was all right. No one ever got like sick on my boat. I had a really tall friend that came to visit sometimes, and he hated having to sleep in like the accessory bunk because it was like kind of claustrophobic. It was a bit of like a nightmare experience for people, I think, because I would like invite people over, smoke a ton of weed, and if they were not like into smoking weed, they'd just be high in this like tiny space. And I think they're
like bringing out a dab rig. You're like, fucking hit this shatter, bro.
Yeah, it would be like, I would just fill the boat with weed, and they'd just be like, so I think
hotbox the boat.
Yeah, they'd just be in this like cold, dark little like space, and be like, good night, like high out of their mind. And be like, yeah, that's probably not the most fun.
But would you ever, I guess, because I guess you work in marine biology, right? So like you love the ocean.
I do.
Right?
Yeah, that was the most pleasure I got. I was just getting to be in and on the water all the time.
let's say you were richer, would you live on a yacht? You know, just like
I would live. Yeah, I mean,
sail around,
or even just a bigger, even not like a yacht, like not even ostentatious. Like people just had like those big like cabin cruiser boats that have like a little living room and a bath. You know, they're more like a house.
Yeah.
And those are fucking cool. Like if you can, I would happily live on one of those.
Do people live on those?
Oh yeah, you would see the people that did it right, that like did the wait list, and it'd be like usually like an old retired couple,
right?
And they're just living on their like living the best life, right? And they're like they're all they're on the paperwork, like, and the boat's very clean, like, but that's like those people waited years. It was like their retirement plan. It's like a whole thing. Not like I decided 3 weeks ago to buy a boat on Craigslist. It's like that's not me. That's not the guy that is succeeding at that. But that is, I mean, that looks nice as shit. And then you can take it around. You can move it places and go see stuff. I wanted to do a sailboat because you can do like coastal cruising, where you like go from port to port. Like you can't go way out into the open ocean. That's like a whole separate endeavor. And sometimes you need a different kind of boat for that. But like going along the coast is like a very popular way to like, you like go and you do like a guest, you can get as like a guest slip in a marina and for a little bit, hook up, see the city or whatever, and then move along. People go up and down the West Coast doing that. So that was my original vision. I'm like, I'm going to like, have these, I'm going to go on seafaring adventures. Like I'm going to take it, but it's just never moved. Yeah. I'd have my seafaring adventures other ways instead on other people's boats.
On a dinghy.
A dinghy or be getting paid to like work on a boat that's going somewhere is the other way. That's the easier way to do it. Turns out.
It's part of your career. That's cool. Yeah.
But that's the boat years.
I think like it's also like interesting when you're young, you can just make a decision impulsively, like, oh, I'm gonna live on a boat for the next 2 years.
I mean, I still do that. Even in my 30s, I do that still. So I mean, I'm fucking doing stand up, like riding my bike across the country. Those were all like, I'm like, just kind of fuck it, I'll do it. Why not? Yeah. I think if I was a little more of a responsible, traditionally, on a traditional trajectory for my age, I probably would not be doing that. But I'm able to make it work. Like even moving to the city was like kind of like, fuck it, why not?
Yeah.
Shooting from the hip can be beneficial sometimes.
You think you've never been that type who just does like the kind of the cookie cutter stuff?
I mean, it depends. Like my career field, like there's people that are more traditionally like have more of a pipeline. You get into like a stable job and stuff. I think I'm just a little too like I like jumping around a little bit.
You think like you're impulsive?
I think I certainly have a little impulsive. I also just like doing a lot of different stuff. Like I think I get bored easily. So I think it's been worthwhile for me to like occasionally like do something very weird or different to like mix everything up. It seems to work out well for me. Yeah. I've gotten lucky so far. I mean, it'll probably be different if I ever get into like a more, like a long-term relationship or get married or, get a real long-term stable. I think, I'll settle out a little bit, but
you got to be less impulsive when you're in one of those.
I can totally step up to the plate when I need to, but right now I'm kind of in this phase where I'm like, I am beholden to no one. I don't even have fucking pets. Like no one gives a shit. I'm not, as long as I'm not hurting anyone or taking, I'm like, I can do whatever the fuck I want, which is kind of fun, within reason.
Yeah.
That's a crazy story, dude.
Have you tried to weave any of it into comedy?
Yeah, I've tried some of the boat stuff before.
Okay.
Some of it,
I think I've seen you try to do it.
Yeah, I've tried it a couple times. I've been trying to work some of the like individual stories, whittle them down into like more traditionally like tightly written stuff. But I haven't fully succeeded yet. I think they're still very much stories and not jokes. And I think kind of getting them to transition from one to the other is going to take more work that I haven't put in yet. But I think it'll get there. I think there's some fun. There's like objectively there's funny stuff in there, so I'm like I know I can like work that into something.
Yeah, for sure.
So every couple of months I'll like write them out and bring them to an open mic and just see if I can like. I even did the other night at like one of those. Coffin did one of those storytelling style show.
Oh, that's cool.
And I was like, this is a perfect place because there's less expectation that this has to be all written out.
Okay, that's interesting. For that show, were you trying to like hit punchlines, or were you just like, I'm going to tell a story?
I have a few that have kind of developed their own little beats. But I mainly just kind of try to tell it entertainingly and then just kind of see where
the laughs are.
Yeah, and then
maybe like dive in there.
That's one of the spots that I can kind of like whittle down into something.
Or like riff based on what the audience reacts to.
Yeah, it seems like there's stuff in there. It's like you just got to, it's just such a long story with a lot of set,
For sure.
You just got to cut it down and find a way to get.
Figure out what's the most like.
I mean, it's not even really like one story, right? It's like a whole
series of stories.
era of your life.
It's like it's like a TV show.
Exactly. There's lots of different individual stories in there.
Yeah, I always thought it'd be a funny, like, it'd be if I was more ambitious to write like a book, like, because just different chapters about the different dumb shit that happened would be very easy to like just distill down into that format.
Yeah, you could do like an entire like chapter just of sneaking onto the boat with your dinghy.
Yeah, like the dinghy thing, because I had got that other shit happened with that. Like I got trapped, like I got stuck in the tide going the wrong way one ended up like ended up trying to be in fucking San Leandro.
Yeah.
Like there was all these little adventures that happened, which were sort of like dumb or embarrassing at the time, but I'm like, oh, these are gonna be funny. Like these are great. I built a little submersible rig for my GoPro to like put it down underneath my boat with lights on it to see what marine life was under there. Because again, unemployed, I'm like, I could do whatever. I could be like a little like dirtbag James Cameron all day. So I was just like building this fucking rig for my like a little submersible.
Did you see anything cool?
Yeah, I saw bat rays and crabs.
Oh, that's a lot cooler than I would expect.
It was cool. Yeah, I mean, there's stuff in there. Yeah, it's a very productive estuary. And I bought bait. Like I put squid, little like freeze-dried squid on like a dowel, so I can like put it out to be like see what will come and get it. It was fun. Yeah.
So what would go for it? Like crabs?
Crabs usually, yeah. They're scabbing. That's what they're down there doing. They're looking for shit like that.
Oh yeah, and you definitely can't do any fishing in an estuary, right?
You can. People.
Oh, you're allowed to.
You might not want to eat it. Yeah. Depending on what species it is, but no, you can totally fish.
But like, what about the crabs?
I mean, I don't know. The crabs do kind of like. They're not as bad as some other fish for like accumulating stuff, but like I don't know if I would eat crabs from the bay.
Is it like very polluted or something?
It's not necessarily polluted. It's just that like any pollution that there is gets like it's called bioaccumulation. Like each step of the food chain that you go up, right? Because think about it, like if you're
it's the whole like tuna mercury poisoning thing, right?
Food chain, right? Because you think about it, like everything at like a little teeny.
But crabs are like pretty low on the food chain. They're not that, right?
Yeah. Because everything in the food chain, right? Like they're eating, like a little fish is eating little zooplankton, right? It's eating hundreds or thousands of them, every day, every hour or whatever. And those all have a little bit of mercury in them. So now all that mercury is now concentrated in the one little fish. And now a bigger fish is eating 100 of those littler fish that all have that mercury. And so it's like you're getting more and more mercury per like gram of weight of animal the higher you go up. So by the time you get to a tuna, you're really like concentrating.
Are there any fish that can like poop it out? Like, why does all the toxins accumulate as opposed to like being secreted in some way?
Well, that's why they're toxins, right? Because you can't do that.
Is that the definition of a toxin?
Well, I don't think officially, no. I won't pretend to be like a very well read on that, but like that's my understanding is like at least with mercury, like heavy metals are like they like part of why they're dangerous is because they accumulate and stay in your tissues and can do damage that way. Now, I don't know if the fish themselves are not typically harmed by them. They're just if you eat their eat them, then you can get sick.
I mean, I've always heard about like mercury poisoning from like eating too much fish, but like I don't know anybody who has been mercury poisoned. I think it's pretty rare. I don't know what like the symptoms of that.
You got to eat a lot of it to get really sick. I think, and it also depends. Like each tuna is not like there's like some fixed amount, right?
Sure.
Depends on, like where they are, how old they are, when the last time they ate was before they got caught. Like all that shit, like totally depends. It's just there's just a general rule of thumb that they put out to be like, don't eat that much because you might get sick, especially if you're pregnant, you're more susceptible to stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's usually how it works.
Yeah.
Cool. That happens with like algal toxins too. I mean, you have the harmful algal blooms off the coast.
For sure.
It's always like marine mammals that get sick because they're high up the food chain, so the toxins accumulate and they'll get sick. We'll see that with certain blooms of like Pseudonetia as a species of algae that creates toxic blooms off the coast here a lot.
Were you aware of the massive sea lion that was at Fisherman's Wharf recently?
Oh yeah, I heard about
Chonkers.
Chonkers. He's a stellar sea lion.
Yeah, there's just like a massive sea lion that's technically a different species from the normal sea lion there, and it's like 2 or 3 times bigger.
They're huge. The males are very big. Yeah.
Yeah. So there was this one sea lion in particular that was like hanging out there, and everybody was obsessed.
I didn't get to see him. I wanted to see him. Right. He was gone before I was like, oh, I should go down there and take a look.
Yeah.
I've seen him out in the ocean before.
You've seen that specific sea lion?
No, not him. I don't know if it's him.
You've seen the stellar.
The stellars, they do come down this way. And when I was on like a research ship a couple years ago, we saw them like out past the Golden Gate on some of the like buoys. We saw like a big fat one a couple times, or you'd see him in the water.
Like that's stellar because it's just so big.
It's big, and I was with people that were like marine mammal experts, so they knew they could like through binoculars of it. That's a stellar. There's other little characteristics that they could spot to be like that's one of those guys. But mainly it is they're just fucking big.
Yeah.
And what happened to the sea lion?
He probably who knows? He probably went back north. I mean, they're not really normally this far down.
Yeah. You just went out on.
Yeah, it was just like here for like 2 weeks, and I was like, all right, I'm heading out. It's
Was
been
it
nice.
in like the place where
At the main touristy spot where everybody goes to see. Yeah, Fisherman's Wharf.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So like everyone saw this giant.
Yeah, there were videos of him popping up on Reddit and Instagram like about 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And like a good amount of videos too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny to see. I mean, because he's so big compared to all the.
And then like he would like jump up, and then all the other sea lions would like freak out and like start like barking at them and like
He's
jump
like a
off.
monster. Yeah. Like,
Yeah. I mean, what would you do if like a human
giant,
3 times your size
an
came and
ogre.
sit down on this couch?
Yeah, you're like, who the fuck is this guy?
Probably start yelling also.
Doesn't speak your language. Yeah, like probably smells different. Like, they're probably freaked out by him.
Yeah.
I wonder if in that case, like, do they like make him their king?
I don't know. I mean, when they're like on the docks like that, I don't think they're mostly just like hanging out. They're not like
They're like trying to sunbathe.
Yeah, they're mostly like a resting place. Like I don't think it's not like what are the elephant seals where they have like their mating stuff is happening like that.
Yeah.
But then again, I'm not entirely sure. I don't know exactly how it works for sea lions. But they're fun. We see them up in the Delta too when we do work up there. You see them all the way up in like Sacramento and shit.
I like how they're around. Like you can go out to like some random beach here and just see like them pop up their head sometimes. It's pretty sweet.
Them and the harbor seals are the 2 super common ones.
Yeah, the harbor seals are cute.
Harbor seals will fuck with you. I've had them fuck with me while I'm scuba diving before.
Oh really?
Which is very scary because you'll.
They're way more agile.
Well, and it's just like I was swimming and I just felt something pull on my fin and I was like. And I turned around and it was like a baby
harbor seals.
So it was like the cutest thing.
It was like biting your fin.
And it was like goofing. It was like very cute. It was like it would like pull my fin and then it would go hide. Like I saw it go hide.
And then
like,
it came back
out. It was like truly like it was like goofing around. Like it was like playing a game.
That's adorable.
Where it was like and I was like that's so cute. Scared the shit out of me, but it's so cute. Yeah. So they do. They're intelligent animals. They're curious. When you're down there, they're like, what the fuck are you up to? Like, what are you doing?
Have you seen any like dolphins or sharks or whales?
Well, scuba diving, I've seen lots of whales from ships. When I was out on those research cruises, it was about this time of year.
So like humpbacks and grays.
Humpbacks, gray whales are usually much closer to shore because they're one of the only whales that feeds on the bottom. They go down and suck up a bunch of mud and filter it through their baleen. Other whales don't do that, so they're usually at the shelf break. Like the continental shelf goes pretty far out here, like where the Farallon Islands are. That's where the continental shelf is. So it's like relatively shallow that far, and then it drops off to like thousands of feet deep. And that's usually because of the way the currents work. That's where all the food gets funneled. There's lots of anchovies and krill and stuff that humpbacks and blue whales eat. So that's where you usually see like the most whale.
You ever see a blue whale?
Saw a lot of blue whales, yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
I went jet skiing once, and they had like a big warning, like, "Oh, if you get too close to the whale, we'll fine you $500,000."
Yeah, it's the Marine Mammal Protection Act. You're not allowed to get within a certain distance of marine because they're very easily disturbed by noise and and they're already under enough pressure.
You're supposed to like stop and then turn your engine off and then wait till it passes.
Yeah, because it's very like especially jet skis and shit like that. It's stressful for them, so you're supposed to be real careful. But we saw blue whales a lot. I saw them up close a couple of times, which is nuts. They're huge. They're bright. Their color is really striking.
That's crazy.
I smelled a humpback's breath one time. Like right in front of the boat.
Was it horrible?
It smells nasty. It smells like broccoli.
Broccoli.
I wouldn't have expected, right? You'd think fishy, because they eat a lot of humpbacks in particular eat a lot of fish. But no, it smelled like broccoli. It's weird. Someone take a shit one time.
How did you see that?
It's just like a big cloud just comes up to the surface. Like it was like reddish.
It goes to the surface.
Yeah, it came out. I mean, it was near the surface, so maybe it was just that's just where it ended up. But it was like, oh wow.
Yeah.
We've seen them intimately. Yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah.
All right, we've been going for about how long?
Probably a while.
We've been going for a while.
So
over
an hour and 30 minutes. All right, cool.
A lot of tales.
I guess we can end the podcast here.
Cool.
That was crazy stories from Charlie and Den, and I guess we'll see you guys next time. Yeah.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.